Well, hello, Overbrook family, and welcome to those who are not part of the Overbrook family but are watching anyway. Susan and I thought during this time of social distancing where we're not able to meet for church that we could continue our music ministry by having a few videos, making a few videos about hymns and songs and the origins of those hymns and songs, because we don't get a chance to talk about that normally. So this is what I hope to be the first of several in a video series talking about certain hymns and their origins, the people who wrote them, etc. As you can see, I'm wearing my green. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I might do a little bit of this in an Irish accent, who knows, but sometimes I get my Irish mixed up with my Scottish. If that happens, just forgive me. And if you're not wearing your green today, consider yourself virtually pinched. Anyway, so this being St. Patrick's Day, I thought we'd start with an Irish hymn. We're going to start with All Things Bright and Beautiful. Now, All Things Bright and Beautiful was written by a woman named Cecil Alexander. A little background on her: she was born Cecil Frances Humphreys in 1818. In 1850, she married the Reverend William Alexander, who would later become the Archbishop Armagh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that was the ecclesiastical head of the Church of Ireland, so that's who her husband was. But even before Cecil married Reverend William, she had already become a well-established writer of hymns and poetry. She wrote nearly 400 hymns and poems in her lifetime, and most of them were for children. She had a real passion for children. She and her husband William ministered in Londonderry, Ireland, which was a poor rural area. The most recognizable of her hymns are All Things Bright and Beautiful, which we are talking about today. There's one called There's a Green Hill Far Away that is sung in many different denominations. And of course the Christmas carol, Once in Royal David City, that was also written by Cecil. She was, as I mentioned before, she was very passionate about charity work. She traveled many miles every day to minister to poor children. She also helped to build a school for the deaf and dumb with money that she received from her publications. Cecil taught the children in her area and beyond about the Bible and Christian practices such as the Apostles' Creed. And that's where All Things Bright and Beautiful comes in. That was first published in 1848. And the very first phrase of the Apostles' Creed, of course, is, I believe in God the Father, maker of heaven and earth. Now, Cecil wrote this hymn to help the children understand how God was the maker of all things, from the great purple-headed mountains to the tiny flowers and birds to each one of us, you and me. The hymn may also have been inspired by Psalm 104, verses 24 through 25, which reads, How many are your works, O Lord? In wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. There is the sea, vast and spacious, teeming with creatures beyond number, living things both large and small. That's from the NIV translation. In 1913, after her death, a stained glass window was made in Cecil's memory, and it was installed in St. Colum's, not sure I'm pronouncing that right, St. Colum's Cathedral in Derry, Ireland, where she lived most of her life. And the three panels in the window represent scenes from three of her hymns: Once in Royal David City, There is a Green Hill Far Away, and The Golden Gates Are Lifted Up. So that's all I have today on All Things Bright and Beautiful, just a little snippet into the author, the history of the hymn. If you liked this, go ahead and hit that like button beneath the video. If you have any comments, if there's certain types of things you'd like to see in later videos, let me know. If there's a certain song or hymn you would like highlighted, let me know in the comments below. Once again, I hope this to be a continuing thing. As long as we're socially distancing ourselves, I hope to continue making these videos. And thank you very much, and God bless.
Who has made all things well, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, The Lord God made them all.